So this is the essence of committee work, to enable us at committee stage to deal with matters quickly and effectively. I thank you very much, Madam.
Yes, thank you. Any more interventions? Honorable, yes, sorry. Yes, Latrikunda Saviji.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just have a few observations to make. If you look at page 4, where they say section 2, where they're talking about the physical act of torture, if you look at the physical act of torture, they have listed from A to K. So, but in all those ones are defined. So how about in the future, if you have a kind of a torture that is not defined in this section, what will we do? And then also, if you go further to the mental and psychological act of a torture also include, they define it, which is very fine. But what's happening in the future? If things change, when we have another kind of a torture that is not captured here, I think we should insert a clause that will capture that one also. And then the same thing also continue to page 6, where they talked about pharmacological torture includes, also they define something, but if you can insert a clause, because we never know what will happen in the future. If you just limit yourself to this, for instance, on page 4, you say psychological act of torture. You list all of them in this section. Because if you could remember, when we are dealing with the bleach, when we want to repeal the bleach, something like that, because the products were listed. And we're saying that these products are always they are outdated now. They are no more into existence. So how about in the future? If you have other kinds of torture that is not captured in this, I think we need to have a clause that will capture that one also. That's my observation. Thank you.
Are we done? I've exhausted my list. Honorable Ase? Honorable, yeah. I've exhausted my list. Any more interventions, observations, contributions? No? Okay. Thank you. Right, yeah, that's fine. May I now, at this point, call on the Honorable Vice Chairperson to respond to the issues that have been raised by honorable members.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I thank all the members, especially those who have made observations on this report. The member for Jara is Busumbala. Member for Busumbala was the first to make the comment and was generally very positive, but was also talking about the various engagements we have stakeholders. As we try to identify the stakeholders that have something to do with this, that we think can add value to our work, instead of just going everywhere, looking for everybody, just for the sake of it. The member for Jara East also made very good observations on the issue of torture, especially on private people doing torture on other people. And mentioned the word hardened criminals, even hardened criminals. So my emphasis is only that even hardened criminals do not deserve to be tortured. We should think of that. Even if, no matter what they do, even if you are looking at them and they did something, there is a procedure that we should take until they receive the punishment that they deserve through law, but not to be violating their rights, especially to the extent of torturing them to receive confession. Honorable Speaker, the member for Basse was talking about prevention of torture. I think if the minister comes, we would go further into that when it comes to the consideration stage, as well as the member for Serakunda. But I believe we need to have some preventive measures as well, which would involve education, educating the people, etc., to prevent people from doing torture or even thinking about torture. Yes, the member for Nyanija also was talking about we could have engaged more witnesses. Well, like I said, we engage only witnesses that we feel would add value. This is a technical thing, and it's United Nations Convention that we are domesticating. So we consulted even the UNDP, and that's where Madam 𝗵𝗃 come from, UNOHCR. Was very useful during our engagement. The issue of prevention, Serakunda also mentioned that because it has taken the nation some time to realize the benefits of this bill. Yes, as I said, we will look into that. The issue of pharmacological torture, from our engagement, they were dealing with, it's more like using drugs or injections, things like that, you know, to flatten the person to be able to receive some information from him or her. So that's what they mean when they say pharmacological. Psychological is the other one. Now emotional, I don't know about that one. Maybe when we come to the consideration stage, we can think about that to see what would constitute emotional torture. I don't know, because I cannot understand what is emotion. How do you inflict emotion on somebody? I know you can shout on the person, you can frighten the person, I know the psychological part, but then how do you use emotion? Because the emotion is in the person himself or herself. But that's a technical thing that we can look at. Yeah, that's it. So the person who raised the emotion should be able to help us during the consideration stage. Yes, whether the committee have consulted the TRRC report. The member for Serakunda was raised. No, we did not do that. Unfortunately, we did not think of that. But that's something, maybe we can consult that, and anything that anybody or any member identifies anything that you think we could benefit from during the consideration stage, we can consider that. The member for Talinding, I thank her very well because she has gone through this very issue that we are talking about. Her rights have been abused during her detention. And she was asking about people doing this thing in their private capacity. That's very much captured. Everything here is relating to both what an official of a state, at the same time private people. Everything is incorporated. If anybody tortures anybody privately and it is known, the same punishment that is meted to the official is the same punishment that's going to be meted to you. This is a grave crime to torture people, tie them, beat them, sexually abuse them, inject them with drugs, etc. All these things are criminal things. They were not in our laws before. Torture was not there. But now with this adoption of this becoming an act, law is already here. And the punishment for this is higher than just ordinary beating, like the member for Kantora is trying to say, beating children, disciplining them. No, this one is serious. It's like you want to extract information from the person. There is a motive why you are doing that particular torture. The motive should not be, I want to discipline. Inflicting pain on somebody or wounding a child should only be accidental. It would not really be, unless it is done with malice, and that must be proved in court. The member for Woolly is, yes, thank you very much. I have taken note of some of, Woolly West, taking note of some of your observations on the typos, etc., etc. And Latrikunda was raising the issue of other methods of torture. Well, this is not conclusive, but it is other degrading punishment. Other punishments are also there. It's not listed. But any type of punishment that you do that is inhuman or it is degrading to the person, that will be considered torture. So there is no end to it. We should just be mindful. We all know what is degrading, but we all know what is inhuman. If you catch somebody and you cut the hand of the person, that's inhuman, etc., etc. So those are some of the things. Anything that you do, the law enforcement officers will be able to hold you and take you to court and charge you for any of those inhuman acts, degrading punishments, etc., etc. So they are there. It's not conclusive. Honorable Speaker, I think these are some of the issues, unless I have missed anything. I thank you and all the members for their observation.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair, and thank you, honorable members, for the observations, concerns raised in the report. But before I put the question for the adoption of the report, I just want to mention that fortunately now we have with us at the drafting section, Mr. Kaba. So if any honorable member has any proposal, you can always consult him, so that would make our work very fast at the committee stage, especially when it comes to technicalities in drafting. Of course, you can also consult the research department for any substantive issues that you may touch on the report. I mean, this is a report, but it's not final. We still have to go through the bill clause by clause when we come to consideration. And during the can I have the, yes. During the course of the debate, of course, we took down certain observations and noted them. So you can always consult Mr. Kaba, and it will be included in your proposals for amendments at the appropriate time. Thank you very much. And on that note, may I just thank everybody once more, the committee, and of course honorable members and the experts who assisted the committee in scrutinizing the bill. And then I put the question, excuse me, be it resolved that this honorable assembly do adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters on the Prevention and Prohibition of Torture Bill 2020. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. Thank you. So the ayes have it. Thank you very much once again. And the next stage, that is the consideration stage of the bill, is now scheduled as per the approved agenda by the ABC. And again, we thank everybody and put the question that brings us to the end of today's business. And now put the question, be it resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned till tomorrow, that is Tuesday, the 8th of February, 2022. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. The Assembly now stands adjourned till Tuesday, the 8th of February, 2022 at 10 a.m. prompt. And I thank you all for your attendance. Thank you.
Thank you.
No,